Hey everybody, this is Jaguar Mary. I'm in Bali with Jocelyn Gordon from Hoop Yogini, and we're going to talk a little bit about the importance of movement as a daily practice. Jocelyn, maybe you want to start out by talking about movement in your life, how it came in and what it looks like now.
I feel like I've always been dancing and walking around the house on my tippy toes, singing and spinning. Formerly, I took my first dance class at the age of 5, which was ballet, and that started the ritual of dance training, dance practice, which has evolved through different modalities: jazz, tap, ballet in the younger years, then modern, and in high school, going into aerobics dance, fitness afterwards, discovering ecstatic dance and all those kind of Gabrielle Roth's 5 rhythms. And also, I think a pivotal time for me in my movement practice in life was when I lived in New York City in my 20s, studying Pan-African dance quite in a disciplined way, like 3 to 4 classes a week, fully immersed. At the same time, I was taking kickboxing and going to Bible studies, this is random, and also taking Jivamukti yoga. So it was very young, very physical, very sweating. I was very agile. Heart rate was amazing. And then I had my daughter, and around the time that I was having my daughter, going into that phase of motherhood, yoga therapy came into my life. I was professionally a massage therapist. I was teaching yoga. So more mindfulness-based movement practices. And then the hoop came into my life in 2007/8, which completely changed everything for me, including to be here now with you in 2015 in Bali.
Yeah, that's really great. I love how you talk about movement as a ritual, because rituals evolve and change over time. We add stuff and take away stuff, but they remain constant throughout all those fluctuations. So maybe, since we're not in our 20s right now, we're not even in our 30s. Can you talk about how movement has, like your life as a mover, has progressed and what it looks like now?
Sure. Yeah. Well, I'm 41, and I strongly identify as being a dancer, even more so than a hooper, which I'm so grateful for all the gifts that hoop dance has brought into my life. And I can say right now I'm coming like out of the hoop again, back to my essence of dance as prayer and physical well-being support. My personal practice is more freestyle dance. I'm not doing that discipline conditioning in any particular modality at this moment. However, I'm open to that. I can see that in my near future. I do circuit training fitness every week, and that feels really good. So maintaining strength and, on a visual level, keeping the thighs, keeping the booty toned, and always keeping it a strong core.
Yeah, core fitness is really, really powerful. It's a powerful way to actually support our movement through life. Whether we're dancing, walking, sitting, talking, everything that we're doing is supported by core strength, I think. And when you taught Hoop Yogini at Sacred Circularities this March, I got so much feedback about the strengthening aspect of it and also the accessibility aspect of it. Can you talk about Hoop Yogini then?
I'd love to.
Yeah.
Okay. Hoop Yogini combines yoga with hula hooping and meditation, so mindfulness meditation, which is the practice of being with what is in any given moment. And we find that primarily through our centered pose, which is quite visually accessible when you stand inside your hoop. And then we use that outward metaphor to find it over and over again in ourselves. So from there, that center, that connection to the core, we then move in our Hoop Yogini practice into strength and flexibility movement and challenges, always keeping that mindfulness, which is the number one, I think, most challenging aspect. It's easy when we learn a new skill to get distracted or overwhelmed, but keeping a steady awareness can be what most challenges people while they learn to then bring the hoop on their waist. That represents dynamic movement with life as well. And the skill sets keep increasing. They're accessible, but they keep increasing always with that anchor to be in your center. So that's the accessible part, I think, in that it starts quite simply, but then it progresses, and the challenge is happening internally as well as externally.
Yeah, I find that there's a lot of emphasis on sort of external expression in the hoop, which is great, which is wonderful. That's part of it as well. I like the focus on the internal aspects as well, because through a daily practice like hoop yogini, for example, that introspection affects our entire way of living. It affects our relationships. It affects how we feel about ourselves, our own self-confidence, so many different ways. There are so many different ways that having a daily movement practice can have amazing effects on being alive,
Yes.
being a human being. So, I really appreciate this offering that you've created, and it's available to people. So
It's available in a few ways. When
Yeah,
we have
yeah.
certified instructors globally now, so you can find a class. If you go to hoopyogini.com, you'll find a list of teachers, and Jaguar Mary will post a special link, so you can find that. And then also we have an online course which guides through a 7-week journey how to create a daily self-care practice through the Hoop Yogini foundational offering, which is known as the Spinal Awakening series. And that is with the hoop held in the hand, so it's super accessible. You don't need to know how to hoop on your waist, but it is an essential part of going through the Hoop Yogini curriculum into advanced poses, so to speak. It's doctor approved. We have medical advisors. It's designed for a general population audience, so that's someone who has probably had some physical ailments, not necessarily dealing with a acute one right now, but wants to improve their mobility in a way that's safe, but also going to be a challenge.
Yeah, That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
It was fun. It was fun, and it was also a deep journey writing it.
Yeah. I could
Yeah.
feel your heart in it, just having experienced it during your workshops here at Sacred Circularities. It's a very accessible, but also it's dense, actually,
Yeah, it is.
So, yeah, thank
And
you.
if I can mention something about the teacher training,
Oh,
I don't know
yeah,
if that's
yeah.
possible.
Yeah.
But that teaches 7 holistic elements that make Hoop Yogini a holistic practice. And so they may not be obvious to the practitioner, but they're certainly felt, and
Right.
it's essential that the educator has an understanding of them so that they can lead a transformational practice
Yeah.
in the hoop. So I invite people to come and take a Hoop Yogini teacher training.
Yeah, yes, please do. Movement is a journey.
Yeah.
Take the first step or keep walking.
Dancing.
Yeah, dancing, exactly. Thanks so much for listening. This is Jaguar Mary from Sacred Circularities with Jocelyn Gordon from Hoop Yogini. Much love,
Peace
peace.
and love.